Right, what I'm going to try and do for the millionth time is talk my way through this whole project. I'm going to start off with exactly what NFTs are, first of all, for those that don't know. For those that do know what NFTs are, probably skip about 10 minutes of this video where I'm talking about NFTs and I actually get to my project and the ways of getting involved in my project. So what is an NFT? A non-fungible token. Non-fungible meaning that it's not exactly the same as anything else. For example, a £10 note is a fungible token because that's fungible with another £10 note, or two £5 notes, or one 10 £1 coins are fungible with a £10 note. They're worth exactly the same value. A non-fungible token would be, for example, something like the Mona Lisa, a one-off piece of art. That would be a non-fungible token. A digital contract sat on the blockchain, basically meaning this is built on my project is built on the Ethereum blockchain, and it's a contract is what you're actually buying that gives you the ownership to the art, or gives you the pass for the utility, like a ticket for an event. So if you see underneath there, collectibles, art, utility passes, mortgages, these are some of the things that now NFTs are being used for. And I guarantee within the next couple of years, every business around the world will be using NFTs as contracts, because it's a much safer way of doing a contract. And it's like, for especially for art, why art is moving into the NFT space so big, so well at the moment, is because it's such an easier way of making a one-off piece of something. It's completely uncopyable, untraceable, because it's on the blockchain. There's no way of editing that. Low supply and high demand is one of the big things that's driving it at the moment. So you look at, let's say, for them pictures I've got on the side here, you've got £375,000 for the highest ever Pokemon card sold, which is a hell of a lot of money for a Pokemon card. But that's what they buy. In fact, I saw an article today that one sold for 425 or something now, so that's the highest one ever sold. But if you look to the right there, you see CryptoPunks, and below you see what's called Bored Apes. These two are NFT projects that launched. CryptoPunks launched about 3 years ago, and Bored Apes launched around about a year ago. The Bored Apes, the highest one that ever sold of a Bored Ape is 2.3 million. I think that's been beaten now. And the highest ever CryptoPunk sold was 23 million. I think that's also been beaten now. The reason that they've only been around for a couple of years, but they get more traction and more money than a Pokemon card, is because of the low supply and high demand. So to have a Bored Ape now is a super big, like, digital status symbol. If you see there on the right hand side, Eminem has a Bored Ape. It just gives him the utility for a Bored Ape is basically just a pass to a club, and you get to party with these celebrities that are all buying into it now. And the cheapest I think the cheapest one you can buy a Bored Ape now is around about $250,000. I'm not 100% on that, but I think it's around about that price. I know it's at least $100,000 because that was a while ago when I looked. But they started off at £200. They all sold at £200. So 10,000 items sold at £200 each. A year later, all those items, the cheapest one you can get, the least rare one, because it's all built on rarity like a Pokemon card, the least rare one is now worth around about, let's say, $150,000, and the dearest ones are selling for like 2.4 million pounds, which, well, dollars. I keep saying pounds, but it's all in dollars. So it's a digital status symbol now. People are using these as the profile pictures. TikTok are giving you a white tick to say yes, you do own this NFT, and it's just a digital status symbol, because we're all heading into our computer, into our phones, or into our computers. Especially the younger generation who spend all their lives on computers. They're so used to this, walking around on Fortnite with a certain skin on or a certain gun. That's like owning a Bored Ape in Fortnite, as you're walking around with the best suit that you can possibly buy because your mum lent you some money to go and buy a skin for your Fortnite game. That is where NFTs is. That is basically, gaming now is a big part of the NFTs, which I'll get into in a second. I don't want to get too distracted on each slide, which I will do, no doubt. NFT market is now worth, well, this is more than this now, but it was $40 billion last time I looked when I built this slide. That's only a couple of years. 40 billion been traded in NFTs in the last 2 or 3 years. OpenSea only has 1 million active users. OpenSea is the largest marketplace for NFTs, and it only has 1 million active users. Now, that for $40 billion to have been spent over the last few years in such a new space, and there only being around about 1 million people actively using the biggest platform, it shows the massive amount of scope they've got for growing this space. If you look at Coinbase, which is the platform where they sell Bitcoin and Ethereum and all different currencies, Coinbase is actually launching its own NFT platform, and they've already got 75 million active users. That's 74 million more than OpenSea. They're opening their NFT platform. That's another 74 million people coming into the space. Can you imagine how big this space is going to be over the next couple of years as new platforms drop and people start to understand what an NFT is? If you look down there, 90% of people in the UK don't know what an NFT is yet. Now, this was a couple of months ago when I got this slide done, but there's still a very, very, very small, less than 10% of the UK know what an NFT is, never mind actually own an NFT. So when people start to get involved in this, because it's massively taking over the business world, like I said, it's a much better way of doing contracts. When the public gets into NFTs, that's when it will go for the roof. Some of the things there, the most popular things that NFTs are being used for: gaming, metaverse. If you've ever seen Ready Player One, you'll understand the gaming and the metaverse side of it. If you've not seen it, watch it. It's a brilliant film. Sorry. And then art, utility, and collectibles. These are the three things that my project is based on. And I'll go into that a little bit further down the line, but they're obviously the biggest in the space, and it's three things that we're focused on in the FORmE Monster Society. These are the things that are going on in the celebrity world, and in like New York City Stock Exchange are filing trademarks for NFTs now, so they're going to be trading in NFTs on the New York City Stock Exchange. When this starts happening, it's going to be massive for the space. Snoop Dogg's massive. He's got millions and millions of pounds. He's got his own projects all over the show. I own one of Snoop Dogg's NFTs, and it's pretty cool. Justin Bieber's in there. He's got a Bored Ape. Eminem's got a Bored Ape. Steve Aoki's actually got a Bored Ape, and a few other big ones. And he's made more in the NFT space. He said this year that he's made more in the NFT space than he has in the whole of his music career. And it's unbelievable, the space. You can get in to the NFT space for a simple couple of $100 and blow up massively. If you look at Bored Apes started at $200 each. Now the cheapest Bored Ape you can buy is around about $150,000, and obviously you've got other things there like Google are getting involved, and so basically the guy that owns Coinbase, the guy there, I don't know what his name is actually, but he owns Coinbase, which is where the trade is. It's a massive multi-billion pound company, and they're opening their NFTs, and they think that the NFT side is going to be even bigger than the crypto side, which I strongly agree with. Jargon, I'm going to tell you a little bit of jargon, exactly what I'm going to be talking about over the next few slides, just so you don't get too lost. Ethereum, so ETH is Ethereum, which is the currency that we're based on. It's just another cryptocurrency, and it's like it's a platform for other digital things to build on top of it on the blockchain. It's way deeper than I understand, and you don't really need to understand that side of it. But Ethereum is the currency that you'll be buying the NFTs in. Pre-sale and whitelist. Basically, pre-sale is something that I'm doing. I'm not sure if other projects have done it this way, but I'm raising money for the project through pre-sales. It's just a way of me rewarding people that have supported all my other businesses, for people that supported me through boxing, people that have supported the tattoo studio, people that have supported the clothing line, all my other businesses that I've been involved in. People that supported that and that no one trusts will get access to these NFTs at 50% sale, and then we'll go to the public where we sell at double the price, and I'll explain the strategy of making some money short term on that, which is not the main focus of the project, with more long term, but there is option there to make some short term money. Reveal day, like I said, these are just jargon that I'm going to talk about later, but reveal day basically means if you see the three monsters there, you'll notice that all three of them have different traits. Like, for example, one has a silver chain around his neck, silver horns, a black cap. One has a multicoloured cap, a skateboard, some collectible trainers on. One has a pair of Timberland boots on, and an umbrella with a skull on top, and different styles of horns. Each one of these traits, so the mouths, the eyes, the hats, the skin colour, the shoes that he's wearing, the skateboard, all these things have different rarities. And when you buy an NFT, you buy it blind, you buy a blank image, and on reveal day, everybody finds out which monster they got, whether they got the most rare, whether they got the least rare, whether they got the one that they really wanted. Some of them have cash prizes, some of them have There's all sorts of prizes you get throughout the NFTs, especially on the FORmE Monsters. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But that's basically what Reveal Day is. It's like when you buy an NFT on a 10k collection like ours. Well, ours is 3,333 collection, so even less supply. When you're buying that, it's like going buying a pack of Pokemon cards from a shop. And when you open it, you find out, oh, a pair of football cards is what I remember as when you pull the cards out and you get a shiny, or you get a real famous player or whatever. That's basically a big part of the NFT world, and it's part of what drives the price up. OpenSea is the place where secondary sales happen. So you'll be buying the NFTs from my personal website, where it's actually a company that I've partnered with called the DeFi Network. They have a website called Dropspace, where they've launched a lot of big projects. They've done extremely well, and we've managed to get on there. So you'll be buying my NFT from there, and then it will automatically go to what's called OpenSea and sit on OpenSea. Whether you want to sell it or not, people will be able to see it on OpenSea, and they'll be able to make you offers for it, which is what drives the price. So OpenSea is the secondary sales for NFTs. Imagine, this is the way I tried to explain it the other day, and I don't know if this makes sense or not, and it sounds quite scary, but imagine eBay knew every item that you actually owned, and it listed it on eBay for you. So if you owned something in your attic that you never really used or you never wanted, somebody who saw value in that would make a bid on eBay for you, and you'd be like, oh, I can sell the cot that's up in the attic. And that's what OpenSea is. It shows everyone's NFTs, and those that want to go and buy them can go and look on OpenSea and make you an offer for your NFT, or you can list it for sale. Discord is another complicated thing, which is basically Discord is where we're building the community, and it's growing really well at the moment. I'm brand new to Discord, so I'm learning it. But what the idea behind this is a community-led project. We've got thousands of people buying the NFTs and talking about the project, and to bring in their friends into the community to raise the price and the awareness of the project. So we've built the community inside what's called Discord, which is almost like a Facebook, but it's much more technically capable. So you can track how active someone's been in there, and you can reward their activity. How many people they brought in, you can reward that. And it's just another way of getting involved in the NFT space without putting any money in, basically, by earning NFTs. And that's what happens on Discord. I'll talk about that a little bit later on. Whales is just basically an NFT whale is somebody who will come in, like the project, and buy hundreds of the NFTs. That's what an NFT whale is. That'll make sense later down in the slide. Gas is the charge you get from using Ethereum. So every time you do a transaction on Ethereum, somebody has to physically put the transaction through and add it to the blockchain, which is what makes it really secure. And the gas is basically a bidding fee. So there's thousands and thousands of these people around the world that... Oh, Christina's home. I'm halfway through a video. Sorry. The gas fees are what they basically will put the contract through for you, and the better the contract is, the less the gas fee. And we've had a very, very, very good contract made by the DeFi network. The gas fees are very low. The reason I put that in there is because I will talk about that a little bit later on as well. Launch patterns, right? This is the important part. So these are two projects that I got involved with early days. And this has been my strategy from the beginning, basically from a YouTube video I watched, that to get into the NFT space, the way to get in is pre-sale or mint. That's the best way to make some money on the NFTs. So basically, if you bought in at pre-sale, let's say, for example, I'm going to give you these two examples that I bought into. I managed to get into one of these at pre-sale, which was the Dr. Ethel's 3D Frankenpunks. Now, I bought one of these. I only managed to get one. No, sorry, I got two. I got two of the Frankenpunks, and I got them at pre-sale, which was 0.08 ETH, which was around about £150. Then instantly, I could have in the same minute, I've gone straight to OpenSea where they was listed for secondary sales. And if you see on the graph there, on day one, on January the 13th, they was instantly for sale at 0.5. I paid 0.08, and I could have sold it at 0.5. 0.5 is about 1,200 quid, and I paid around about £130 for it. So I paid £130 and I could have sold it at £1,200 instantly. That would have been a quick flip because I got in at pre-sale. Now this is a short-term way of making money on NFTs, but it's a strategy that a lot of people use. You'd buy 3 or 4 of them, and then on if you can get in at pre-sale or if you can get in at mint, which is difficult to get into. But if you know the person that's running the project, or you manage to work on the Discord and earn mint list, then you can get them at cheaper price and instantly sell them on OpenSea. So on both of these projects, so if you notice, they both come onto OpenSea around about 0.5, but they both sold initially at 0.08. I got both of them around about 0.08. Now, obviously there's two completely different graphs there, and I'm going to tell you why they're both different. But if you bought 3 of them at pre-sale price at 0.08 and then went to OpenSea and sold one of them at 0.5, you're instantly in profit, and you own 2 of the NFTs for a long-term investment where you can just sit and watch them grow. Now, if you notice on here, one of the projects, My Pet Hooligan, has done really well. They'll come straight on at OpenSea. They sold it, like I said, about $200 each. They came on to OpenSea about 1,200 quid each, and they've climbed all the way up to around 2 ETH before they drop back down to where they're currently at now, is just less than 1 ETH, which is, I only got one of these. I actually bought one of these. I think it was around about 0.8 I paid for it, and I sold it for 1.7 ETH, which I made about $3,000, I think, roughly, on My Pet Hooligan. I wish I kept hold of it, to be totally honest with you, because what happens is this is the general pattern in a NFT launch. So the launch, people will buy on pre-sale and buy on mint, and then they'll go to OpenSea, and there'll be obviously a higher price when they get to OpenSea. People will trade and swap them before reveal day, and people are trying to get hold of buying these packs of cards to try and get hold of one of the rarest, which some of them are worth hundreds of thousands of pounds. So everyone's trying to buy them, which forces the price up for a while. And then on reveal day, people will open the packs and they'll find out that they've only got, let's say, for example, a bottom end least rare one, and they'll start to sell it. Now there's hundreds of people trying to sell at the same time, which will cause the floor price to drop, which is what happens on both of these projects. But what My Pet Hooligan did is, what we're currently doing, they had a lot of their roadmap ready done before they'd even sold out. So what they did on reveal day, everyone started to sell, so you can see the floor price started to drop. As that started to drop, they revealed part of the game that they'd been making, and it gave people confidence in the long term of the project. And then they've constantly brought out new things that they've been doing for over the last couple of years, and it's kept the floor price high. Now, as these actually release this game and it gets bigger and bigger, that floor price will climb and climb and climb and climb. What the 3D Frankenpunks did, they put a roadmap out, told everyone what they was going to do, and they sold out well because they have some really good plans, and I'm still involved in these. I actually own 4 of them now because I've bought some more since they've dropped down again. Because long term they are going to be doing something, but what they didn't do any work beforehand. They sold the project out and then started using that money to do the work, which what forces the floor price down. It doesn't mean that the project is not going to work long term, because they can still do what they promised. But at the moment, the floor price is down because no one has the patience to wait for them to do what they're going to do, which is why we've put so much work in beforehand, so we can keep the floor price high like My Pet Hooligans has. Sorry, I need to quickly explain that. So pre-sale for our project, pre-sale is 0.06, which is about £135. Mint is 0.08, which I'm not 100%, £200-ish. And then public sale will be 0.12, which will be double what pre-sale was. And then secondary sales is whatever the people on the secondary market think it's worth. You'll get to list them at whatever price you want to sell it at, and we'll obviously, the more we do, the more we'll force the price up of the secondary sales. Right, so now I can actually get into my project. So you've got a very, very loose, slight understanding of what an NFT is there, and strategies of NFTs, and what I do when I buy into projects. Like I said, the ideal thing is to get in early and know the people who are running the project, to get in at a cheaper price and flip a couple early days and sit with the rest in your wallet for long term. Right, so FORmE Apparel. I started FORmE Apparel in March 2021, and 3 months later we got invited to walk London Fashion Week, and that was mainly because what we stood for and what the monsters stood for, and everything was about self-confidence, positivity and gratitude, and it was a really big thing at the time, and it still is obviously. It got us on London Fashion Week, which helps us propel the brand quite highly, and one of the biggest things that took off from that was all the people really loved what the monsters stood for, and basically they found the monsters really relatable, and we really started to focus on the monsters story. We have a 10 episode comic book series written for the monsters, and the story is really, really, really good. So this is all based on the clothing line to begin with, and obviously a big part of the NFT space will be our clothing line as well. So this is the progress that we've made before we've even sold any of the NFTs. We've got sold out Genesis collection. So the first thing I ever did was release 40. Well, so far I'm up to number 22, but there will be 40 hand-drawn one-off pieces of art on the NFT on OpenSea, and they've been selling for around about $600 or $700 every week. I sell one every week, and they'll go on until we launch this project, and we'll end up with 40 of those. And those people that own those will be the board members of the NFT space, and they'll get to vote on certain things, and they get full utility. What the other NFTs that we drop, they'll have full utility, which means basically black card membership at the clothing company, IP rights. I'll go into this and I'm getting lost again. We've got a merch store already. A big part of NFT space is probably the third or fourth stage of the general roadmap is to launch a merch store for you to be able to advertise, but part of the company that you currently own. We obviously are already a step ahead of that with the clothing line, so we've got our own merch store ready to go. We've got 10 episode comic book written and currently being illustrated, which is almost finished now. The first 3 episodes, the first 3 chapters are completely written and illustrated as comic books, and the next 10 are almost done as well. 3,333 collectibles done, so I've got 3,333 different versions of the monster you can see there, which is Chester, with 250 different traits, which makes them so unique because I've got so many random traits on one character. You'll notice when you see the project how rare each one actually is. A 10k plus raised well, that's way more now. We've raised I think we've now raised around about £32,000 through pre-sales and the Genesis collection, which is all going into marketing and boosting and obviously building out the animation series. We've got a low gas contract made, so I've partnered with Dropspace, which is a very, very, very highly sought after space to launch your product on, and they've launched some really good products. If you they're called the DeFi network, basically. They're the tech experts, which is what I need. I couldn't do it myself. I had no idea how to do the tech side, so I partnered with somebody called the DeFi network in America. Animation teasers in progress. So like I said before, we need to have something to constantly promote and boost the floor price of these NFTs, which will be beneficial for all the holders. So we have built a ton of stuff out ready to drop slowly but surely, and you can see there the animations have already started to take shape, and we have collectible toys made. So now I'm on a meeting on Friday with some really high-end collectible toys being made. You can see there in the bottom corner Chester's prototype has already been made, but that is going to change. It's actually going to be a ton better than that because I've got a better 3D model made. I'm taking that up on, like I said, on Friday, and I should have some videos to show you. A growing and active Discord, so the community is building really well in there. We've now got around about 500 members in there. It's grown about 400 in the last week or so. It's taking off really well. It's getting some really good traction. 2D animated ads made, so I've got 2 currently made and 1 being made, so we'll have 3 ads ready to run on socials. Like I said, this is all I will boost the floor price, and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours worth of artwork ready for the social medias to help promote it. Right, so our strategy, the way we're launching the NFT project, started off with the beginning collection, so you can own a one-off hand-drawn piece of art based on the last 40 years up to current day. So we started off in 1982, basically when I was born, and the first one was Chester as Michael Jackson and Thriller, and then we've been through all the years. We're up to 2005 currently, and you notice there we did Pulp Fiction when that came out, Samuel Jackson, Louis as Samuel Jackson, then you've got Hugo down there as Yoda from Star Wars, because I can't remember exactly what year that was. I think it was 2002 maybe, when the Star Wars came, one of the Star Wars films came out. I used the order in that year. Pablo Escobar in one year. There's some, I mean, if you look on the Genesis collection on OpenSea, you'll love some of the artwork on there. And then we've got the Brutes launching. So the Brutes, see the character on the right hand side, the guy that's dressed up as Pablo Escobar, that's Chester. His tribe are called the Brutes. I'm launching 3,333 different versions of him on May the 7th. The pre-sales for that has already started. The pre-sales are basically a 50% discount for people that I know and trust. And then, once they've sold out, we release the Gorms, which is the middle character, the small guy with one eye. They're the Gorms. There's 3,333 different versions of him coming out. If you own the Brute, you get early access and discount to the Gorms. And same with the Creators, which is the next drop, which is the guy on the left here with 6 eyes. Well, he's got 4 eyes on there because the afro covers up 2 of his eyes. But the Creators drop, and if you own one of each of these, you will then own a family. So if you own one of each monster, you own what's called a family. The idea behind this is to get people to hold on and not sell their NFTs, which will reduce the supply on for sale and increase the demand and increase the price. So if you own one of each monster, you will then get a free NFT, which is going to be an egg. And once all those eggs have been given away, there's only 1,111 of these being made, which will be the most rare collection, and they will get given out to people that own one of each monster. When your eggs hatch, there'll be animation of the eggs hatching and a new breed of monster coming out of there. That'll be free. It'll be the most rare, and obviously you'll be able to sell that, do what you want with it, and own the IP rights to that as well. And it'll be a big part of the animation series that we're bringing out. Remember, all these characters, every character that's released, all 9,999 of them, plus the 1,111 eggs, which is a new character, all have the opportunity to take part in the animation series, which will boost the profile of your NFT, and owning that NFT will be worth more money if it gets into the animation series, which is something I'll go into later as part of the utility. And then there'll be the merge in spring 2023. Now the merge is it's another free NFT for you, and it's a really deep. I'll not go into that right now because it's a whole other part of the story. The main part of the story is the main overarching story behind the whole FORmE monsters is 3 separate tribes that lived on the planet 200 years ahead of Earth. Monster nature is very much like human nature, and basically these 3 tribes stopped working together, and then AI ended up taking over, and is basically a look into the future of where we're all heading, because we've got our heads stuck in our phone, letting technology take over us, separating us into separate tribes, not working together anymore. And that's the story basically. And the merge will mean that the 3 tribes come together, well actually 4 tribes when the new breed is hatched. They'll come together and merge and create this new super character that can take back Monstopia. Like I said, I'm not going too deep into the story because that's all going to be revealed in the comic books. Right, so reveal and fear of missing out is what I talked about before. When you buy these monsters, you're buying them blind, you're buying a pack. If you look on OpenSea now, the people that bought pre-sales, they have an image of a pack that says pre-sale, not for sale. When these release, see the 5 characters that you can see on there. If you got one of those 5 characters, the center one is the original Chester. If you get the original Chester, you're instantly guaranteed 20x your original mint price back. So if you paid £150 for Chester, we'll give you 20 times that back on day 1. So before any marketing, before anything, you'll get 20x your money back if you opened Chester. The other 4 monsters are guaranteed part of the animation series. They all have their own little stories behind them. Midnight on the right, Ginger on the left, Chester in the middle. I still can't remember the guy's name on the left, but he's got a name, and he's going to be one of the main characters in the 2nd episode. And Party Boy, the guy on the left, they've all got part. They're basically all closely connected to Chester and his story back on Monstopia, especially Midnight. The guy on the right is the mob boss, but we'll talk about that as I get into the story later. So some of them are going to come with cash prizes. If you see, each one of them has a separate skin, like Chester's got pink in the centre, 2 on either side has 2 metal skins, then a marble skin on the right, and a smiley face skin on the left. There's also cash skins, and if you get one of the ones with cash skins, you'll get a cash prize. The cash prize is not sorted yet, but it's going to be a few £1,000s. So you open your pack and you could instantly win that. 3,333 monsters. There is 5 of these rare ones. I think there's around about 15 of the cash monsters, and there's other prizes to open there. What forces the floor price up before the reveal day is people trying to grab one of the really expensive ones, before they open and before the price goes through the roof. G-Wagon is something that was on the cards, but is not 100% yet. I'm currently in negotiations with my business partner. The idea is to possibly buy a G-Wagon, completely wrap it and design it as with the monsters, as a full advertisement. As part of your contract, when you open one of the monsters, if it has the G-Wagon in the background, you will get the free G-Wagon, and the contract says you can't take the wrap off. And it'll be a really good advertisement thing, driving around G-Wagon dressed as the monsters. What utility do you get when you buy one of our NFTs, and what will make people want to use them? So the commercial rights to the characters in the animation series. So basically, if you want, as soon as you buy one of these monsters and you reveal it and it ends up in the animation series, you will be boosted because it's in the animation series. It makes your monster more popular, more known, more famous, I suppose, in a way. But you'll own the rights to use that character, all the characters, any of the NFTs you get in your own little businesses, which is something I'll talk about a little bit later on with the space that we're building on the internet, where we have our own currency and everything. Name the characters, so you're going to get the chance to name your character that you mint. So the person that actually mints the character will get the option to go onto the Discord and name its character, and we'll put that name into the NFT, and that when it ends up being in part of the animation series, you'll be able to say, I actually gave that monster that name. Holders get priority on each drop. So obviously you buy into the first drop. If you own a brute, you'll get guaranteed access at cheap to the GORMs, and same again, if you own a brute and a GORM, you'll get guaranteed access cheap to the creators, and so on and so forth for each drop down the line. Black card discount for FORmE apparel and the toys. So the collectible toys that we're going to be promoting should hopefully be very collectible in the future and worth a lot of money, and you'll get a big discount on them with black card membership on FORmE apparel and toys and everything else that we add to the website. You're going to get access to our private group, where we'll be partnering with other NFT groups and getting you mint list and private sales on other NFT projects, with that flipping opportunity to make a bit of money. So just access to that group is worth a lot of money itself. And then an art gallery reveal party in London. So people that, I'm not 100% how to give these tickets out yet, because there's only around about 100 people can come to the first party. So possibly a way of winning them with your NFTs. Certain NFTs get access to the party. I'm not 100% sure yet. I think what I might actually do is reward people with the least rare NFTs to stop them selling access to the party. That was just a top of the head idea, but that's the London reveal party is going to be inside an art gallery. We're going to have screens up on the wall, and on reveal day, as the monsters reveal and if everyone finds out what they've actually got, they'll be revealing on the screens. You'll be able to scan a QR code, not 100%, but if we can get the technology right, you'll be able to scan a QR code and instantly go and make a bid on whichever monster you like the best, or which is the most rare, or you'll be able to make bids on them. The marketing strategy, I don't need to go into that too much, but the screen's there if you want to look through it. We're way into phase 1 and getting up to phase 2 already. We're on about 500 people in the Discord at the moment, but we have done no marketing at all. So I think we spent $60 on marketing so far. I've just had a phone call today with a guy for marketing, actually, that went really well, and bringing him on board. Marketing doesn't need to start yet, because the point of marketing is to really push the fear of missing out massively on social media. We've got around about £20,000 to £30,000 to spend on marketing to promote the brand early days, and to get this sold out and then straight onto OpenSea for secondary sales. So you can read through that if you want, but it's not that big a deal. One thing that is cool on there is I've been speaking to Big Nasty. I own one of Big Nasty's NFTs, of the first ever NFT he ever did, and it gave me access to go and meet him, to get on stage with him and put my logo on the back of his stage. But because the project is what we're talking about, is being self-confident, wearing your clothes for you and not caring what anyone else thinks, Big Nasty absolutely loves what it stands for, and hopefully we're going to be able to do some sort of deal with him, so we can manage to get Big Nasty back in this project. That'll massively help marketing. but it's just an extra bonus that we don't really need, but ideally it happens. Ways to get involved, right? So this is the important bit. So the ways to get involved, I've spoken about this before, but the beginning collection that is currently on OpenSea is sold out, but there's ways of going on there and making bids if you want to buy one off somebody. I very much doubt that anybody that's bought them would sell them, because everybody that's bought them is well into the projects and understands where it's going. But every Sunday, I sell one for the whatever the highest bid is. So I draw a new one every week, a new hand-drawn one. I'm currently drawing one based on 2005 when I opened my tattoo studio. It's going to be a fully tattooed version of Chester. I'll see if I can find it for you. I know I'm only small on the screen, but I'll see if I can get this image. I won't be able to find it. But basically, I'm drawing a fully tattooed Chester, and it's to mark the year that I opened. And Miami Ink came out that year, and it was a big influence on me. So this week's is going to be based on tattoos. You can buy one of them, but they sell generally for around $600 or $700. But they come with tons of utility, and they also give you a free one of the first drop. So the first drop, which is the Brutes, if you bought this week's beginning collection monster, you also get a free boot. So basically it's kind of getting in at half price because you're getting 2 for 1. The whitelist, the pre-sales is what I'm talking about with people that are local to me. They can buy in at 0.06, which is around about £135 each, a minimum of 5, so that would make it 0.3, which is roughly £650-700. Or price of ETH is changing all the time, so it's roughly around about that area. And then if you get onto the community whitelist, so basically if you contributing on the Discord and being part of the community, you earn whitelist spots, which gets you a cheap access at 0.08. And then if you're just general public and buying in on the sales day, if you're lucky enough to get one on public sale, which will sell out instantly, 0.12, double the price of pre-sales is what you'll pay. And then if you want to buy on secondary sales, which is on OpenSea, you're looking at, I don't know what we're going to launch on OpenSea at, but everybody that I've speaking to, you're looking at 0.5, which could be around about £1,000 starting on OpenSea, which would be cool if we did drop in there at 0.5. See the image on the right hand side there, that's the image that you've currently got. I don't know what that is going across the bottom of the screen there now. I don't know what's just. I don't know if just turn the video off or not, but anyway. Right, Smiley Coin. This is a whole. This is a whole other aspect to the business that we're currently building. If you're in the Discord at the moment, you can actually start earning Smiley Coin now. I've had a few people that have been in there for a few weeks, even a few months actually, earning Smiley Coin. The Smiley Coin is what we'll use in our own little ecosystem, where you can put your monster into a website and edit your monster and make him as unique as you want him by you spending Smiley Coins. So the sooner you get involved, the more Smiley Coins you'll earn, and the more chance you'll have of making your NFT more valuable. So like I said before about the traits, like the glasses and the tie that he's wearing, or the hat that Hugo's got on there, they're traits. If they're really rare, it makes your NFT worth more money. So the idea of the Smiley Coin is to go into the MVV, which is the Monsterverse Vault. You basically lock away your NFT, so you take it off the market, not for sale, which reduces supply, increases the price. And then inside that MVV, you can use Smiley Coin to buy better glasses, buy better just better traits for your monster. When you take it out of the MVV, take it out from staking, put it back on OpenSea, it'll be worth more money. And it's just a way of me rewarding people that's sticking with this long term. There's also like things like tattoo studios where you can get the monster tattooed. We'll have poker rooms in there where you can go and gamble with Smiley Coins, or casinos, if I can figure out the technology side of that. This is long term plans. We have a 5-year business plan written out here. This is not going to happen overnight, but the animation and things are the most priority, and this will be built after that. So like I said, you can already start earning Smiley Coins now, and by staking your NFT later. Trade Smiley Coins. I want to eventually make Smiley Coin into a token, so I can put some value to it against the dollar or pound, and you can actually trade Smiley Coin. So if you've been involved for the longest and we managed to get Smiley Coin as is we managed to get Smiley Coin as a cryptocurrency, God, or a token. You'll be able to sell your Smiley Coins and actually get money back for them. The long-term plans, like I've just been talking about with the Monsterverse Vault, we're first of all going to build a website where you put your monsters. Like I said, you can go into a tattoo studio. I actually have, obviously with the tattoo studio that I own, I have tattooists signed up that said they will design tattoos inside the MVV for the monsters. You'll actually have consultation with a tattoo artist. You'll walk into a virtual shop and you'll have conversations, and then you'll be able to get your tattoo merged onto your NFT and making it unique again. And same thing with clothing and glasses and hats and different. We've made like a spacesuit NFT where you can put the spacesuit on and you'll be the most rare of the NFTs. And it's just, like I said, it's just a way of rewarding people that keep keeping hold of the NFT for long term. When they take it out of the vault, it'll be worth more money. This is all based on a website, like a normal website at the beginning, but my long-term plans are to make this into a metaverse game where basically you put a 3D set on, you're walking around as the monster. You're going to be able to socialise with other people that are involved in the monster project. You're going to be able to walk into a tattoo shop, see the tattoo artist sat there as a monster, see the tattoo coming on to you. So that's long term. This is like 5-year plan, but I mean, if this takes off the way I think it will, this could be a 2 or 3 year plan. Right, that is the long and very drawn out process of explaining the project, but obviously I'm sure people, especially those that don't know what NFTs are going to need a little bit more explaining. So if that's of any interest to you at all, then get in touch with me and I'll explain it in much more simple terms. Thank you very much.